So I'll start with Russell. If you had somebody come up to you and said, I want to start studying Torah, but I know nothing. I just know what I'm coming out of is garbage, or I don't see God in it. But every time I open the Torah and start reading it, I feel connected. Where should I start? How should I start? What would you say to them?
Well, I guarantee you, I do not know the number of Art Scroll Chumashes that I gave away. I've gave to people. I've sent to people. I don't know how many books. I literally have gave more books away than I have. That's sure.
True. That's true.
I mean,
Russell
I give them
spends
away
hundreds of dollars a month giving away Torahs all over the world.
And the neat thing about that is
I had mine without him. I wouldn't have mine. That's that book he gave me. I read from it every night.
And I tell you, I had a very kind gentleman do me a kindness that it really impacted me when he I admired the Humash that he had, and he got a new one, and he sent me that Humash. I guarantee you right here. And I thought, man, out of all the tours and all the books that I gave away, and to have to know what it feels like to receive one, that was a blessing that you can't repeat. And so it was very nice to get this. And so this is my favorite Chumash at this time right here, and I really appreciate it. And so I understand what it means for people to get that Chumash when they don't have anything. So the answer to your question is where to start. It's to start with the Chumash and read it like we did, like we started. Is where before we knew anybody, we sat there and for 3 years read this from cover to cover, every note, every page, and then Hashem just opened the doors up to learning for us. Unbelievable. But it was that dedication to the Word, to the Torah, that Hashem honors. And so once you show that dedication to it, and it's just a natural thing to open up, and we're where we're at today because we dedicated ourselves to learning Torah.
Yeah, I'm a testament to that. I can speak for that. Absolutely. That's what you're saying is true in essence, body, mind, spirit, everything. Absolutely.
So if you ask me that same question, you know what I'm going to tell you? You need to call Russell Kirk.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many of those phone calls I get. Rabbi so-and-so sent me, this guy sent me to you.
Who?
Can you help me? Can you help with this?
Yeah.
And I say that with all honesty and with all love because Russell has a gift, and I'm just Russell is the revealed aspect, and I'm the concealed aspect, I guess, a little bit. I always call us Netzach and Hod. We're two halves of one thing, and Russell has the ability that from Hashem of the generosity and the ability and the wherewithal to bring somebody up from ground zero. I, however, don't have that gift. But that's okay because I have Russell, and
that's the same thing here. It's
Russell has me on the other side where, Russell will call me and say, hey man, so-and-so's asking this and blah, blah, blah. And I'll say, boom, 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 here it is, and so we have a very unique relationship. It has been something that it's an enigma. It's I'll put it to you like this. Russell and I are probably as close as any two people on the planet, but we've never eaten dinner together other than a feast. We never go out together. We never hang out together, but we talk to each other about 5 times a day. It's the craziest relationship, because our relationship is based on one thing: Torah.
And the funny thing about it is there's nothing else to talk about when we're together.
No, we talk about Torah. We discuss Torah. If he want, he may say, "Hey man, where's this piece in Talmud, or where's this piece in that, and where's this piece in that?" And I call him all the time too. "Hey man, now where was that at?" But if somebody is coming out of Christianity, coming out of idolatry, and they want to get plugged into the right source, Russell Kirk's your man. And if you want to learn the esoteric, the Kabbalah, I hate the word mysticism because it's so funky, but then in other words, you don't need to get to me until you go through Russell. I mean, it's not a.
But is that true though, Mike? To say that let's just say that somebody seems to engage in what you're teaching, and it ignites a passion to where just reading the Torah portion doesn't really, the person really never, they just read it to read it. But I know there's people that, for some reason that's all they want to talk about is the Kabbalistic, aspects of the Torah. And is there anything? Do you think there's anything wrong with that?
That person's going to be drawn right to me. That person's going to be drawn right to me. There's no doubt.
You'd be surprised, and one of the most interesting phenomenons I've seen, because it happened. I've heard it so many times and ran across it so many times, and I'm going to use just one example, and the example is the book Inner Space. And I've had people say I've read it 3 times, and it's like I still don't get what it says and stuff like that. And this is because, what we believe and the way we've learned, and, is we learned a lot of things orally. We hear it, and we've learned the oral Torah, so to speak, orally. We've had it orally taught to us, and we also had study partners that we could articulate it back and forth with. These are very important dynamics in learning these Torah at this level, but even at the Peshat level. Have a study partner, have somebody you can talk it out with and discuss it with and ask questions with, and learn how to articulate what you're trying to understand and receive the answers, and be able to develop questions at a higher level in order to learn the next thing, and to learn more about the same subject. If you learn how to ask better questions on that subject, these are dynamics that we've learned over time, accidentally or on purpose, by the guidance of Rabbi Bax to teach us to do these things. And one of the reasons I think me and Mike are the way we are is because that's exactly what we do. We study, different things, basically, but yet we study the same thing all the time. But we're back and forth, and we have that study relationship that keeps pushing us further and further, and it can push you further into knowing the Peshat better, and the Rambam and Rashi, or it can push you to knowing the Leshem and the Rizal and the Ramdu better. And so
it all depends on what that person's soul's drawn to. Is
it depends on what you're
between the both of y'all have the aspect of both. I think for me, luckily, I'm drawn to all of it. You know what I mean? And sometimes that could be kind of a distraction, and then at the same time a blessing. You know what I mean? To have, because there's not. I thought about this the other day. I was telling my girlfriend. I said, I don't know anywhere else besides this little place here in Texas, we call Central Texas, that I have access to the information I have between the two people I know. Because there's nowhere else. You can get on YouTube, you can watch YouTube videos, and you can learn some pretty neat stuff. I mean, there's rabbis giving, good classes, but you can't engage with them. You can't just reach out and ask a question. And y'all are so open to people asking and available. And like Mike said, if people really knew what was being taught, then there'd be thousands of people in the class. If people knew what Russell was, the amount of Torah that was coming out of Russell's house, I mean, this would be the hub of Gare,
Yeah.
Noah,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. This is a hub, and it's something special, and I hope more people are drawn to it and see what's really going on in this area between the both of y'all, because I think it really is something it's from heaven. Absolutely.
Russell made a comment about hearing it orally. So I've had the same experience that he had with the book Inner Space, Ari Kaplan's Inner Space. It's one of the greatest, basic, but most advanced Kabbalistic books ever written. And I did a 26-hour, 26-part series on it. And I didn't call it Inner Space. I called it Interface, like interfacing. Because if you really want to know Torah, and Brad, the reason you just said what you said, because you have access. What do you have access to? You have access to oral Torah, whether it's the basic Torah or the advanced Torah, because the secret of Torah, it's taught from teacher to student. And when it's taught from teacher to student, it's taught orally. You can't sit there and read it and understand all the nuances. You don't get it because, listen to me. Listen to me. Do you see how I just got quiet? You don't get that reading. But when I want to make a statement and you see in my eyes that I'm trying to tell you something, you see how my inflection changes? You see the nuances in my face. You see the difference in my smile. You see the quietness in my voice. That's the secret of oral Torah. You know what's important by the way they are speaking. That's what I got from Rabbi Bakst. When Rabbi Bakst wanted to tell me something important, he would lean back and he would get real quiet and he would tell me the secret. That's what you don't get by reading on your own.
Right.
So, Brad, when you say the thing that you enjoy most is the ability to engage with the people you know, that's the secret of oral Torah, because it's taught orally. Moses learned it orally. Moses taught it to Joshua orally. They all taught it orally. They didn't sit there in the tent and just be quiet and read the book.
Read books together. Yeah, absolutely.
No. You have to have a study partner. You have to have a harusa. That's why Russell and I call each other 4 or 5 times a day and just bang ideas off of each other. Here's a piece of Torah, blah, 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 blah. Well, what about this? Or what about that? And all of a sudden we come to a super conscious position. The sum is greater, the whole is greater than sum. You know?
Right.
That's the secret of Torah. And that's why when people would go watch that 26-part of Interface, which is the book Inner Space, I taught it, they would say, I read the book 3 times and I watched a series and I finally got it. I finally got it.
They heard it explained orally.
They heard it explained orally.